What is good, YouTube? It's Jay Coffee on the vid, back with another hip hop blog for you guys. And you see, we're talking about the Punchline King, one of my favorites of all time, Lloyd Banks. And, I've had this discussion quite a few times on this channel, man, that I want to see Banks come back. I feel like a lot of other hip hop fans do want to see that as well. It's just criminal to me. I always say this when Banks get brought up. Like, it ain't right to me. And it just don't feel right when it comes to hip hop that Banks, don't get me wrong, he did his thing. But Banks was supposed to do so much more in the rap game, in my opinion. And, we did see him drop a couple tracks over the last year or so, you know what I mean? Kind of let us in a little bit. Took some small shots at 50. We found out what it kind of went down between him and Fifth, as it was announced a few years back that he was officially off G-Unit. Ties were cut, going independent. And, Fifth also wrote about it in his book that there was some situation where Banks was upset that Fifth didn't come to his pop's funeral. And, I mean, on the outside looking in from the surface, I feel that. I don't know. If someone, we don't know everything that goes on between 50 and everyone within G-Unit. But to me, I mean, and obviously, according to 50 in the way things went, it seems Banks does indeed feel some kind of way about that. You know what I mean? You guys let me know your thoughts on that. But, other than those couple tracks we got from Banks, couple subtle shots taken at 50 Cent, something that I discussed on this channel in a couple videos when, Banks, because he's pretty active on social media, throwing out some tweets, posting on the gram from time to time. And he kind of cryptically in certain tweets has said things about possibly coming back or responded to fans. It just seems like from things Banks says, we will see Banks get back active in the rap game. I don't know. 50 Cent has said quite a few times that Banks was lazy or lacked the work ethic or, just didn't have the hunger, and it's kind of ironic with Banks's, hunger for more. You feel me? Like, still a banger too. I can play that joint from beginning to end over and over. That's another one on my list of albums that I can let ride from intro to outro. No skips, no nothing. You know what I mean? If anything, I want to rewind it a few times to rehear some of those fire punchlines, from the Punchline King. But anyways, something that I've spoke about, because I still feel like Banks can not only rap his ass off, which we know he can, and I know he's got more in the tank, you know what I mean? That pen is still hot, still ready to write some fire bars and punchlines, but I feel like Banks can, work with a lot of these new artists, and you know what I mean, he's able to adapt to different kinds of situations when it comes to being on different tracks. And we did kind of see that on Conway, King to a God, that Juvenile Hell song, fire, man. Havoc, Flea Lord, and Conway. Like, I don't know, I thought like Lloyd Banks fit in so perfectly on that, and that was always one of my questions, is where would Banks go, as far as with the collective or a label? Like, where would you like to see Banks? And some people did say Griselda, and I can see it. If you watch my channel, you guys already know how I feel about Griselda, and I just feel like that would be the perfect way for Banks to propel his career. I mean, I don't know if that would ever happen, but a couple tweets here that Banks threw out recently. You guys let me know what you think of these. If you think, Banks is going to come back or what he's saying here. Someone tweeted to Banks. You'll see this tweet. It says, Banks can still rap circles around 90% of the rap game. Banks quoted that tweet and put 99%. So what do you make of that? I mean, he could just be saying, yeah, I'm nice. But he could be saying, I don't know. You know what I mean? There could be something there. Like I said, he put out cryptic tweets before, and then we got a couple tracks from him. maybe he's only waiting until the right time or the right situation to really drop an album or a mixtape on us, which we know that one mixtape we never got from Banks that we were supposed to get. Y'all know what it is. Drop it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. And then this other tweet says, Lloyd Banks, on a lighter note, who is the punchline king bumping these days? And he said Nas, Benny, Chef, Sleepy. And, when he puts Benny's name in there, listen, Benny, one of the nicest in the game as well, in my opinion. I kind of feel like Benny and Banks, a lot of similarities between them. You know what I mean? Like Benny is hard with the punchlines as well. But man, what do you guys think about maybe Banks and BSF? You know, that would be dope as well. But what do you make of these tweets, man? Like Benny, get it done, right? Like, I mean, obviously, like, people are gonna sign who they sign and do what they want to do, but I think that would be like super dope as well. Because when it comes to the Griselda family, you know what I mean? We've seen some people other than the original three come into the picture, but for the most part, they all have some kind of ties to them. Black Soprano family obviously is Benny's own thing, but I don't know, man. Like, I just, who knows what goes on behind the scenes if there is people that reach out to Lloyd Banks, you know? But I don't know, man. I mean, Banks could just do his own thing, but I don't know. I think it would be a good look for him to just come back second time around, affiliated with someone, you know, who's super, like a crew or a collective or a label who's super relevant in the rap game, you know? Like, once again, you know, I'm just a fan of hip hop, and it's just something I want to see. And when I've made these other blogs and videos about Banks coming back, if people think he will, what these different tweets at different times meant. Oh shit, remember too, within the past, like 6 months or so, you remember that situation where DMX was mistaken and originally kind of tried to diss Banks and then found out, oh, my bad, I was talking about Tony Yayo. That was funny too. But, and that's another, like, I just did a few videos recently too on X. We see X coming back into the fold. He's in the lab working on a new project. Like, I don't know, like, hopefully we see the same thing from Banks. You know, like I said, it just never feels right to me when it comes to hip hop that's what it is, you know, that Banks' career is just gonna end where it's been left at. You know, it just don't feel right. It feels like there's much more to come, you know? So that's all I got on this one, guys. Like I said, I'm just kind of thinking out loud, you know what I mean? Tapping in, freestyling with y'all on this Lloyd Banks situation. What do you make of these recent tweets? Do you take anything from it? Or is Banks just tweeting, just talking? Let me know in them comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. J Coffee Talk, blog of sports, music, news, life, current events, and much more. And I'm gone.